Hi, welcome to King County at your service. I'm Jackie Ablao. The pandemic has delayed many things that we all take for granted. Incredibly important things like jury trials. King County is working through a huge case backload, and we need your help.
The one major service that you can provide to your community is to serve as a juror.
As far back as I can recall, there's never been a backlog like this in King County Superior Court. Welcome. My name is Jim Rogers. I'm the presiding judge, the head of the court for King County Superior Court.
Hi, my name is Roger Rogoff. I'm one of the 53 Superior Court judges here at the King County Courthouse.
We, during this coronavirus time, have had an incredible backlog of cases. One of our constitutional rights is the right to a jury trial.
And if you want to get involved in ensuring equity in your community, ensuring justice in your community, the primary thing you can do is you can serve as a juror. So we want you to know that if you are chosen to sit as a juror, we have worked very hard to make it as safe a place as possible for you.
The first thing we're doing is we're using a lot of technology that helps to reduce the number of people who come into King County Superior Court. We're allowing a lot of people to appear by telephone or by video.
We are going to ensure that the courtrooms are cleaned every night when you leave and every morning when you arrive.
Some of you may have served before. You might be thinking, how can I go into that little jury room during the breaks or to deliberate? That's way too close. What we're doing is we're only using every other courtroom during this time. You will be actually waiting in an entire different courtroom during your break and during deliberations. And that means we need additional places to hold trials. And the place we found was the Maidenbauer Center in Bellevue. That's going to be a place where civil jury trials are going to be held and some family law trials.
We're also consistent with the governor's order, insisting that people wear masks inside the courtroom.
Everyone's socially distanced. You'll see that the courtrooms are configured in a very different way than they were before.
When we handle evidence in trials, people will be wearing gloves without exception.
The air exchanges per hour have been increased for greater filtering, for recirculated air inside the courthouses themselves.
We want to make sure that jurors who make justice happen are as safe as possible when they come in the courthouse to do their job.
So your service right now is more important than ever, so please, if you can serve, please do.
How many family members?
I have 5 in my house.
Okay, give me 10.
So we are at your King County Aquatic Center in Federal Way. Today we're using this parking lot to host a mask distribution event for our residents down in South King County. King County purchased 5 million cloth masks and 20 million disposable masks because we knew as we entered new phases of reopening that people would need to be wearing masks as they go into businesses, as they go about their daily lives. So we purchased these masks with the intent to get them out to our residents. We have about 2.25 million people who live in King County in our cities and unincorporated areas. So we bought 5 million disposable masks with the goal of getting 2 to each resident. Coronavirus, COVID-19, is a novel virus. We've learned so much new information since it hit us back in March. So the same things we've been asking you to do, staying home when you can, washing your hands, staying 6 feet apart, and limiting contact. We want you to keep doing those things, but we also want you to wear a mask when it's appropriate.
Hello. Hi. I have 2 kids and 2 adults in my family. Yes.
We'll be hosting several more. We're working on identifying the locations and the dates and times. That will all be posted to our King County mask site, which is kingcounty.gov/mask distribution. There's a page where we are posting standalone events. Many of our cities and community partners are hosting them too.
How you doing? Take care.
This is our way of making sure that everybody has access to these critical supplies so that we can stop the spread of COVID in our community.
Take care. Be safe.
It's hard to believe, but the Americans with Disabilities Act was passed 30 years ago. But there's still a lot you can do to make sure people have equal rights.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
I'm Clark.
We both live in Seattle.
We both use wheelchairs.
And we're both tired of these cars blocking the intersections.
Clark and Vanessa attempt to cross the street, but a van blocks the crosswalk. Then they navigate around a huge charter bus blocking the crosswalk. Next, they attempt to weave through several cars blocking an intersection.
Seriously?
I don't know.
Try not to die, please.
For pedestrians who can't step up onto the sidewalk, blocking a curb ramp means we have to ride in the street through traffic just to get out of the intersection. Like, the reality is when you block the box, you block us out.
It's our access and it's our safety.
Better enforcement at intersections will make our streets safer for everyone. A message from Rooted in Rights and Transportation Choices Coalition, Transit for All.
Everybody I've ever met with a disability has done some amazing stuff, you know. I don't feel like I'm a disabled person. I mean, you look in the mirror and you see it, or there's things you can't do, but I mean, that's not what's on my mind. The leg piece also goes to my leg and the stick, and that's how I move the stick side to side. This was just a picture of the motorcycle that I wrecked. I just tried to keep moving on. You know, I had good family, good friends. I got into the disability reassignment program, and so all this stuff was made so I could actually run the equipment.
Basically, we went shopping to the sailboat stores and found parts and pieces, drew up the plans, and then the department that he works in has access to welders and those type of people, and they were able to manufacture what he needed to be able to operate the machinery.
They made everything that I had better. You know, they hired a company to make it, you know, so allowed me to do all that. That hook's there, so when I want the stick to go that way, I pull that way. I want to go side to side, I go just like so. Good morning, Annette.
Good morning, John.
Because of his not having an arm and because of the back injury, it was difficult for him to use the computer. So we installed voice-activated software for him with a special microphone.
PM overtime only. The county did this as accommodation, the Dragon software, and then they did the sit-stand workstation for me, so it allows me to stand up, you know, as you know, my back gets bad.
I mean, it's good for employees to be able to remain at work. It prevents them from falling into a disability rut. Financially, it's almost always advantageous for people to continue to be able to work throughout their career and become eligible to retire.
You know, I was granted disability, you know, I didn't have to come back to work. I needed the routine, I needed to get out and work.
The Play Garden is all about inclusion. So really the mission here is to create a space where every child, regardless of their level of ability, can come and play. And sometimes for kids who maybe have autism or Down syndrome or some mobility struggles with something like cerebral palsy, parks are not always very welcoming. They can be a little bit difficult to manage, whether it's because you're on wheels or because maybe you have an autism diagnosis and you need to be in a space that's fenced in so you can be a little bit safer. Everything's designed to be accessible regardless of how big you are, how small you are, whether you use wheels to get around, whether you use a walker, whether you use your feet. Our kids are outside and they just put on some good rain gear and some boots and they get to really experience nature in the garden and digging in the mud and splashing in puddles and not stuck in a really sterile indoor environment.
It's been really important for Best Starts to really be creative and think innovatively about who we want our investments to go to, and recognizing that there are a lot of community-based organizations. So the opportunity we have now is to be able to put those supports in place so that babies can be born healthy, so that children can thrive, and so that young adults can really be launched into the rest of their lives and be happy, healthy, successful adults.
wonder who takes care of all the pets and their humans in King County? Well, Regional Animal Services, of course. This will make your tail wag.
Have you ever wondered what kind of services Regional Animal Services of King County provide to you and your community?
Call 24 hours from your vet appointment.
At RASK, we care about people and pets and demonstrate our commitment every day in the work that we do.
And run and play.
Thank you. Congrats.
Each year, our dedicated team of staff and volunteers provide countless hours to the care of animals in the shelter and in foster homes. Thousands of pets in our care are adopted to new families or returned to their owners. Our animal control officers conduct investigations as well as educate the public about local laws related to animal welfare and licensing.
We all know that you guys are mini deputies.
In addition, RASK is proudly working with a number of public and private organizations to provide pet food and supplies to the communities we serve. Thanks to the generous donations of national charities, we are working together to distribute food to various locations. RASK protects hundreds of thousands of pets through our licensing program to fund our field, adoption, and shelter operations. How can you help? By licensing your pet, you are protecting your pet. Licensed Pets ensures any lost pets are quickly reunited with their families.
Awesome, thanks a lot.
According to the American Humane Association, more than 6 million lost or missing cats and dogs end up in the U.S. animal shelters annually. To find out how to license your pet online, visit our website, www.kingcounty.gov/pets.
Thanks for joining us for King County at your service. I'm Jackie Ablao. Visit us online at kingcounty.gov/KCTV. See you next time.